Ever feel like your timeline is moving forward and then someone hits the brakes, suddenly throwing it into reverse? That sensation has a name. It's Mercury Retrograde. And astronomically, it's all about this rock right here, Mercury. Looking at this schematic of the inner solar system, you can see Earth and Mercury orbiting the Sun at different speeds. Because Mercury's orbit is tighter, it travels faster and laps us multiple times a year. When it overtakes Earth, our relative positions create an optical illusion. From our vantage point, Mercury appears to slow down, stop, and move backward against the stars. It's exactly like watching a slower car appear to move backward when you pass it on the highway. But look at how much of the 2026 calendar this illusion consumes. Between the primary retrograde periods in February, June, and October, plus the weeks of pre- and post-shadow phases surrounding them, nearly a third of the entire year is covered in red. A trick of orbital physics ends up dictating the schedules, anxiety levels, and real-world decisions for millions of people. Looking to the sky to organize our daily tasks is a habit deeply embedded in human history. We've relied on planetary movements to guide planting seasons and mitigate earthly risks for centuries. Today, the risks we try to mitigate are different. During a retrograde, standard protocol tells you to avoid signing major contracts, delay buying new electronics, and halt any major travel plans. Trying to live by those rules creates immediate friction. You find yourself agonizing over a lease agreement on an apartment you love, or you stall a career move because the calendar suggests it's a dangerous time to communicate. We are not here to test if astrology is real. We need to evaluate the behavioral return on investment, the ROI, of actually following this advice in your daily life. Choosing to observe retrograde protocols means you are trading forward momentum for risk mitigation. To figure out if that trade makes sense, we have to audit the costs objectively. Let's start with the strictest rule of retrograde. Do not finalize financial or legal agreements until the planetary shadow passes. Imagine you have an offer on a house or a lucrative job contract sitting in your inbox. Applying retrograde logic means you sit on that paperwork for 3 to 4 weeks. The immediate benefit is time. You get an extra month to review the fine print, negotiate terms, and ensure you aren't making a rushed decision that leads to buyer's remorse. To see the full picture, look at this quadrant chart comparing the action you take against your risk level. In competitive environments, time delays act as a hidden tax. We call this opportunity cost. If you wait out the market on a highly sought-after asset like real estate or a job offer, someone moving faster will take it. That places you directly in the high-risk, high-opportunity cost quadrant. Applying retrograde caution to competitive commerce yields a heavily negative ROI. The market punishes hesitation. Now consider the technology and data rule. Astrologers advise extreme caution with communication, double-checking travel details, and backing up your hard drives. The input here is minimal. You spend a Saturday afternoon saving files to the cloud and reading your emails twice before hitting send. The outcome is the total elimination of catastrophic data loss. When we pull our chart back up, this maps firmly into the low-effort, high-impact quadrant. The behavior is cheap and the protection is massive. This leads directly into a concept astrologers call shadow work. It's the advice to use this backward-facing period to audit your internal life, confront poor habits, and check the health of your relationships. The practical ROI here is striking. Halting new initiatives forces you to look at what's already running. You get the space to course-correct toxic habits and prevent systemic burnout, even if confronting those issues causes temporary friction with the people around you. Regardless of planetary alignment, treating retrograde as a scheduled, secular quarterly maintenance period works brilliantly for both your hard drives and your mental health. There is, however, a psychological trap. It happens when you start attributing every broken appliance, delayed train, and bad date strictly to the planetary phase. Psychologists call this an external locus of control. It offers immense immediate relief to decide that a miscommunication wasn't your fault, but rather the inevitable result of Mercury's orbit. Surrendering control to an uncontrollable event cascades quickly. Minor daily frictions start to feel like a slow-motion disaster that you have no power to stop. The trade-off for that brief psychological relief is severe. It breeds hypervigilance. You start scanning your environment for things to go wrong, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of anxiety. When you expect the universe to actively sabotage your day, you end up manufacturing the exact drama and friction you are trying so desperately to avoid. Mercury retrograde is a terrible timekeeper for modern commerce, but it is a highly effective, built-in framework for preventative maintenance. To navigate 2026, we build a decision tree starting with, is the choice time-sensitive? For an unmovable event, take the yes branch. Execute with audit, checking the fine print. If flexible, take the no branch. Hold for reflection and fix your systems. Use the calendar as a tool for awareness. Do not weaponize these dates to avoid unavoidable adult responsibilities. The most dangerous illusion isn't that a space rock is moving backward. It's the belief that pausing your life is free of consequence.